Hello, Dave, this is Jeff. Right now you're on your honeymoon with your lovely wife. Congratulations. But let me tell you what I was doing this morning. I was watching television with my kids. I'd actually like to spend the duration of this minisode talking about the 5 children's shows that exist in the scariest universes to me. First up, we have Word World. But Word World is a delightful show where all the creatures in it are made out of words. And it's actually a universe where any word you spell comes into existence. So if you want a pool, all you need to do is have a P-O-O-L, and you have a pool. The problem with this that I see is you could create anything, and me with my juvenile brain, it's only a matter of time before I try and spell ninja, N-I-N-J-A, and all of a sudden my N-I-N-J-A is actually trying to murder foreign delegates and spy on foreign countries and assassinate people with their they're ninja stars. Because not only can you create anything, but you can modify existing things in this universe. There's an entire episode where the ant is tired of being small, so they put a G-I in front of his name, and he becomes a giant ant. Because what happens if I'm just trying to create a friend for myself, and I want to name him Bob, but I accidentally put an M in there, and all of a sudden I've created a bomb, and then the NSA is on me. Not only that, they don't answer the question of homonyms. It's 2 words that are spelled the same but have different meanings. So what if I'm trying to cook a bunch of noodles for my family, and I put a pot on the stove, but accidentally, as soon as I put it down, it decides that it's weed. And then the government's knocking on my door, they're trying to take my kids away because I've got all these drugs on my stove. Next on my list of terrifying universes for a kids show to exist in is Dinosaur Train. Dinosaur Train is a show about an adopted Tyrannosaurus and a family of pteranodons, and they go all around their area on a train of dinosaurs, obviously, and they learn more about other species of dinosaurs, and it's all about the Tyrannosaurus, developing hypotheses about why different dinosaurs have different things. He's essentially an anthropologist. Here's my first problem with this. So the whole premise of the show relies in the theme song, where the line goes, once upon a time there was a mom whose name was Mrs. Pteranodon, and she has a bunch of eggs, and they all pop out, and they're pteranodons, except one is not a pteranodon egg, and a Tyrannosaurus pops out of it. And the Tyrannosaurus says, what am I doing in a pteranodon nest? And she says, well, we're your family and I'm your mom. Here's the problem with this. This egg was not acquired through an adoption agency, just fell into his nest, which means Buddy's mom was not killed. Buddy's real mom did not abandon him. She's just missing an egg. This is a case of a kid accidentally crawling into somebody else's minivan to go home, and they end up keeping it. This is gross child abduction. Somewhere there's a Tyrannosaurus mom who is weeping, who is full of tears for her lost child. It's off gallivanting around the Cretaceous with a bunch of pteranodons. Here's the truly terrifying thing, though, about this show, is that they don't just gallivant around the Cretaceous. They gallivant around the Jurassic, the Cretaceous, other dino time periods. They have the power of time travel. The train constantly goes through time tunnels. How long is it before they decide to come to our time and feast on the weak, fleshy mortals that lie in our time? Like me, I'm a weak, fleshy mortal. An episode I would like to see of that show, though, is where they go forward in time, or just after the comet, and everything is dead, and they look on the post-apocalyptic, it's the end of the world. Maybe that's what happens, and they just assume there's nothing after that, and so they don't even try coming to the distant future to devour humans, because why would they? The world has been destroyed by a comet. Let's stay in the Cretaceous period. The third show on my list will have a lot of people questioning why it's on my list, because it is actually truly a phenomenal show, and the show's name is Arthur. Here's my problem with the Arthur universe. Inherent racism. It's only a matter of time before all of these animals grow up and start getting crushes on each other. And what do you think Arthur's parents are going to say when he decides to bring home Francine, someone of a different species? They can't physically create another creature, a monkvark. You can't have that. That is a terrifying consequence of biological repercussions. The last show on my list is actually 2 shows that I'm combining because they exist in the same universe, and that is Dora and Diego. If you've ever watched Dora and Diego, Dora is a show where Dora and her pet monkey walk around exploring things, and Diego is an animal rescuer, and they always get up to different shenanigans. So here's why this universe is terrifying and why you wouldn't want to live in it. Everything in this universe is sentient. Everything has eyes and can talk to you, from the cars to the trees to the bicycles to the squirrels, and everything speaks Spanish. And it's not terrifying that they speak Spanish, but it's terrifying that everything speaks, because this is a universe where you could not eat anything. I'm not even talking about being a vegetarian, because the vegetables are all sentient too. They all have eyes. They all speak. You can't have paper in this universe because you've had to murder a tree to get the paper. You can't have clothes because the things that you make clothes out of, I'm not a scientist, I don't know what they are, but they were living things. You can't take from them. You can't eat things because all the eating things are sentient living people. But not only that, there are these profound, magical, mystical items that exist in the Dora universe that 4-year-olds are in control of. So Dora has a magical backpack that can store anything that you might need inside of it. Whatever you need, it spits out a bunch of stuff, and you choose what you need, and then it eats the rest. And I know that it eats it because when it puts it back in, it goes nom 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 nom, delicioso. But it eats it through its head. Its mouth is on the front of the backpack, and it put it in the top of the backpack, and it says nom 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 nom, delicioso. Diego has a backpack called a rescue pack that transforms into whatever you need. And how long is that going to be before it's apprehended by some nefarious schemer and transformed into some horrible nuclear device? I don't know. Days? Before someone finds out, someone's walking through the jungle, hey, that kid has a backpack that can turn into anything. I'm going to use it to take over the United States and kill the president. So anyway, that is my list of 5 children's television shows that exist in terrifying universes that I would not like to live in. I'll see you Friday, Dave, when we interview Carlos Whitaker. Keep LARPing.